on the Columbia at Bumping Lake in the Cascades. Or in the Cascades, there was a Bumping Lake. The name of the lake is Bumping Lake. Wherever I went, the haunting fear of the water follow me, and whenever I go, wherever I go, this fear of water always pursued me, and whenever I just go near to the water, that I start becoming paralyzed, I start becoming having the same difficulty. I remembering the old incidents. It ruined my fishing trips. Whenever I go for the trips, whenever I go for the vacations, and in the foreign country, fishing is a kind of a adventurous full activities. People generally go there for fishing to have a great leisure time, to pass their leisure time. And so this difficulty had ruined means destroy my fishing trips, deprived me means मुझसे वंचित करना, deprived me of the joy. Canoeing means boating in a small boat, boating and swimming. So this enjoy of my trips had ruined just because of the past incident which I had been gone through, and this incident had ruined my all the enjoyable moment of my life. I used every way I knew to overcome this fear. I used many way to overcome, to control on my fear, to have a possession on my fear, but had me firmly in its grip. But I found that I am totally in the grip of its means in the grip of fear. Finally, 1 October. Now here, my dear students, remember this date. 1 October. Finally, 1 October, I decided to get an instructor and learn to swim. Now, finally, at 1st of October, I started I started hire an instructor. Instructor means a coach or a swimming coach or a teacher who is so professional in swimming, who can teach me the basic skills of swimming. I went to a pool and practiced 5 days a week. Now here, what I did after joining the company of an instructor, I enrolled myself in a swimming pool, and I started going there for 5 days in a week and 1 hours for each days. The instructor put a belt around me. Now here, very important paragraph is this is the instructor put me a belt, where my whole chest and my arms and my back is totally hooked up with the belt, and I was totally in a very safe hands. A very protective belt is there which he put on my whole body, on the upper body. A rope attached to the belt. Now as the belt was around my body, and this belt was attached by the a rope, a hook is there. Went truly attached to the belt, went through a pulley that ran on an overhead cable. Now here, I tell you what, there was a big, like on the surface of the water, on the above level, there was a kind of iron rod is there. Along with the iron rod, there was a hook is there. On this hook, that the rope is attached. Now here, the rope is almost that much deep or that much in height, where I can always be above from the surface. So now that whenever I'm going, he had told me, just what you have to do, you just move yourself upwards, you have to move yourself forward, and you are not going to dive inside the water because you are attached by the rope. You are safely, you are very in the grip of So don't worry. First of all, he just remove my fear. He just remove my all the tension that I'm in the water. So he is not going to let me die inside the water, because as this iron road, like the road above side is there, and just belong with this, that there was a rope, and the it was attached by the pulley, and this pulley, you I can show you, but I right now I don't have image. But there was, if you want to find out that the pulley and this line, if you write how to learn by the rope in the swimming pool, so you will come to know that the images, and you have the imagine, you have this right image in your mind, that how the situation was right now, how he is going to learn, how was his first step to be learned in the swimming pool. So he was in a safe hand. He held on to the end of the rope and went back and forth across the pool. Hours after hours, day after hours, week after week. On each trip across the pool, a bit of the panic seized me. Each time the instructor relaxed his hold on the rope and I went under. Some of the old terror returned and my legs froze. Now, here, what happened? What the writer is saying, that the instructor has made a such type of structure which is so favorable in my conditions, because as I was so intense, whenever I see the body of water, I started shivering, I started trembling. So the instructor had built a such type of instructor, a such type of a form in which is so helpful for me. What he did, there was a iron rod. Iron rod was, along with the iron rod, there was a rope. A rope is, the rope can easily dragged here and there, because this rope is, the rope is in the hand, the rope is in the grip of the instructor. So whenever he pulls it's himself towards himself, then I'll also come along with him. Whenever he go at the another corner and try to drag the rope or try to pull the rope, I also come along with the rope. So this was the experience. I was just, it was the initial days. I was get together with the water. I was moving here and there by the uh, wish of the instructor. But whenever I came at the middle of the swimming pool, that same terror again trying to seize me, again trying to block me, again trying to lock me in its hold, and I was started trembling. It was 3 months before the tension began to slack. Slack means become less. Now, almost after the experience, after the training of 3 months, this terror has been going little bit downwards. That my confidence coming upwards and the terror is going downwards. Such type of changes I observed in 3 months. Then he taught me to put my face under water and exhale. Now here, and after that instructor told me that now it's time to put your face under the water and exhale. Exhale means leave the breathe, leave your air in the water. First take the breathe, and now once you go inside the water, just exhale, just leave your air. And to raise my nose and inhale, and again what I did, just put my face above the water and inhale, and then put the down in the water and exhale. And this type of training he started giving me after the 3 months. I repeated the exercise hundreds of times, but bit by bit I shed part of the panic that seized me when my head went underwater. And now what happening, as my instructor had given me this instruction to repeat this exercise again and again. So whenever I am putting my head inside the water, the terror which is trying to seize me, it's going little bit downwards. Next, he held me at the side of the pool and had me kick with my legs. And now what he did, he held me by my waist And what he told me, what he is trying to teach me, that just move your legs, just strike your legs in this position. For weeks, I did just that. At first, my legs refused to work, but they gradually relaxed, and finally, I could command them. And now, after this training, first he gave me the training of moving from by the rope here and there, and then second training he gave me to put my face inside the water. Hundreds of time I did it, and third he hold me from my waist and take me to the corner of the pool and given me instruction to hold to move your legs fastly. But in the initial time it was so very hard, it was very hard for me to move my legs according to my wish inside the water. As from outside the water I can easily move my legs and my hands. There was my control on them, but inside the water they become paralyzed, they become seized. But now after a little bit training I become relaxed. They started working gradually, slowly and gradually. They started working. Which part of the body? Their legs. And finally, I could command on them. And now finally, I had proper command on my legs. Whenever I want to move them, now they are moving inside the water. Thus, piece by piece, he built a swimmer. And when he had perfected each piece, he put them together into an integrated whole. Uh, integrated means ekikaran. Now what he did, he built each piece of my body, each part of my body favorable to the water. And after doing his all job, when my all parts of the body become perfect for the water, what he did, he assembled with each other and made a perfect swimmer in me. And now I become a perfect swimmer, and now I don't need anybody to support me by the belt or by the rope. Now I can swim inside the water here and there without any instruction, without any fear, without any terror. This piece by piece he built a swimmer, and when he had perfected, now here we have in April. Now from October we came to know, and now it's April. He said, now you can swim, dive off, and swim the length of the pool, crawl stroke. Now here in the April, what he did, he asked me, now you become perfect swimmer, and now you go and check the length inside the outside at the all the corner. Just go by your own self, just have a crawl stroke is a kind of a trick, or a kind of a what I could say. It's a kind of a techniques. It's a techniques of swimming, yes, definitely. So this is a technique that you have to crawl stroke. This is a kind of a techniques where a person can swim. I did, the instructor was finished. Now here I did this and the instructor was finished. The finish means that his job has been finished, his work is done. He, for which work he has been hired, his work is completed. But I was not finished. I still wondered if I would be terror striking when I was alone in the pool. So his job is done, but my job is not done. I'm still in this confusion. Then, whenever there is nobody inside the water pool or in the swimming pool, so and then the same terror would again overseas me. So he was trying to check it. I tried it and I swam the length up and down. Tiny vestiges of the old terror would return. But now I could frown and say to that terror trying to scare me, well, here is to you. Look, and off I would go for another length of the pool. Now here, the writer is saying that the same terror is trying to now, as the instructor job is completed but my job is not done, because I was still in this confusion that whenever I'll be alone in the swimming pool with nobody company, then the same terror will again trying to overpowering me or trying to hold me. So he just checked up by himself. As he went inside the water, as he is checking the length of the water going upwards and downwards, the small terror, tiny vestiges, means small memory of the old terror, of the of the initial times that came to him very slowly. But yes, there was a situation when he found that yes, the small terror, that the same terror is coming from nowhere. But now what he did, he just had a smile, and what he did say to the terror, he said to the terror that you are trying to scare me. Oh well, here is to you. Look, and off I would go another length of the pool. So he is trying to, now he, this is his first step where he is trying to overcome on his terror. Now here earlier, as you know that you have understood that what terror I am talking about, and now he is trying to take the he is trying to play with his terror. He is trying to he was so motivated, he was so confident. Now he has that much strength that he can ignore his terror, which he used to be so tenseful. This went on until July. From April to July, I was continuously swimming inside the pool. But I was still not satisfied. I was not sure that all the terror had left. But from till April to June, July, I was continuously doing this type of activity, but I was not properly satisfied. I was not sure that the terror had completely left from me, that the terror which was inside me, that had disappeared totally from my mind, from my presence of senses. So he was still in doubt. So what he did, so I went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire. So here in the swimming pool, there was all the protections were there, all the things were there. He was in the company of many children, many peoples. But now in the New Hampshire lake, there was nobody. So he examined himself that he is out of the terror. So he just dived in the water, dived off a dock at Triggs Island. So now what he did in the New Hampshire, there was a Triggs Island and there was a lake, and he jumped inside the water and swam 2 miles across the lakes. So he continuously swimming in the water, which is very deep inside it, and he was continuously swimming 2 miles across the lake to Stamp Act Island. Now he had reached where? At the island of Stamp. I swam the crawl, breaststroke, side stroke, and backstroke. Now here these are the techniques which is so helpful to be swim inside the water. So here he had examined all his tricks, all his techniques: crawl, breaststrokes, side strokes, and backstrokes. Only once did the terror return, when I was in the middle of the lake. And now the Douglas is saying that yes, little bit terror was there whenever I was inside the middle of the lake. That time a little bit terror came in me. Only once. I put my face under and saw nothing but bottomless water. Now, as I have become so curious that where is the terror, so I put my face inside the water and I found that nothing was there inside the water, only bottomless water is there. The old sensation returned in miniature for a few seconds, for a few in a small, that little bit old sensation return. Sensation means feeling. The little bit sensation, little bit feeling of the terror came in a very small period of time. Miniature means small period. I laughed and said, well, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do to me? It fled and swam on. And now, whenever I was in the middle of the water, in the middle of the lake, I said to the terror, Mr. Terror, you are trying to scare me. Oh, he just fled and the terror had fled, and I swam on, and I was swimming continuously for moving to next island. Yet I had residual doubts. Residual doubts means left over still. Now little bit still I am in the doubt, a little bit doubt is still with me. At my first opportunity I hurried west. Now I went to the west side, went up at the Titan to Conrad Meadows means the field of grass. So what I did, I just went towards the west side, and what I found that up the Cornered Creek Trail to Maddie Glacier and crammed in the high meadow by the side of the warm lake. The next morning I stripped, dived into the lake and swam across to the other shore and back. Now here, what as he was so conscious or so curious towards his swimming that the terror has been totally left. So what he did, he examined himself again and he went towards the west side. He came across by the various lakes of the water, and he swam over there, moving from one island to the coming to the different island. And here what he did, he just camping over there, he just made his own tent and stay over there for a few days. And in the morning time to the noon time, he continuously bath over there and have a great enjoy of his this skill. Just as Dong Corpon used to do. Dog Corpon is a kind of a great swimmer who was used to do from how he become so successful because he had a great practice. He jumped continuously. He jumped in a different lakes. He came across with the different condition of the water. So that's why all these experience had made him a great swimmer of his time. I shouted with joy, and Gilbert Peak returned the echo. Now, here where I was swimming, I was swimming in front of the a great mountain, which name of the mountain is Gilbert Mountain. And whenever I screamed with full of joy, the echo returned back to me. I had conquered my fear of water, and finally I had got victory on my fear. That I was fear of water, and now finally I was conquered on it. I was got victory on it. I was defeat my I defeated my fear. The experience had a deep meaning for me, and this experience, the whole experience from my childhood to now, it has a great meaning behind it, as only those who have known stark terror and conquered it can appreciate. And now those who have a such type of terror, complete terror of a particular thing, and they conquer, they got victory on it, or they defeat this terror, that they are so appreciable, they are so extraordinary people in my eyes. In death there is a peace, there is a terror, only the fear of death. Now here the writer is also saying that in death there is peace. Whenever a person get die, then he goes in the mode of peace. There was no noise, there was no movement. He is just become so still, and he was in the arm of peaceness. There is terror only in fear, only in the fear of death, and the terror is only in the death. But actually, what is in the death? In the death there is only peace, but the fear is in the death. As Roosevelt knew when he said, "All we have to fear is fear itself," because I had experienced both the sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce, that will to live somehow grew in intensity. Now, as Roosevelt had said to him that all we have to fear is fear itself, like, और हमें जिससे डरना चाहिए कि वो हमें किससे डरना चाहिए, हमें सिर्फ डर से डरना चाहिए, हमें सिर्फ डर ही है जो हमें डराता है और कुछ नहीं है, nothing is there. So we have to overcome on it, we have to got conquer on it, we have to got victory on it. That's the Roosevelt had said, and I am very lucky to gone through by both the experience. And now first I was in the hand of terror, but now the terror, I just ignore it, I just neglect it. At last I felt released, free to walk to trails and climb the peaks and to burst aside fear. Now, trails means track. Now, here I felt released, free to walk the trails to the tracks. I can walk on the tracks or anywhere. I climb the peaks. I can just climb on the mountains as well as burst aside fear. I just put the my fear aside. So this is all about the chapter. This is all about the story of the William Douglas, written by William Douglas, and the chapter name is Deepwater. Now, here let's talk about some question. But I will make a proper video of all the question answer. But like, let's have a little bit discussion of the question answer orally. But I'll provide you the notes, so which will be very beneficial for you. Now here the question answer are there. I hope you would able to give me the answers of each questions. Now, what is the misadventure that William Douglas speak about? Misadventure, you all know that he went to the swimming pool and he was thrown by a chap, and after that what happened with him, you know very well. He was almost about to die. He was had a strategy initially, but after that this strategy gone in vain, because in reality there was nothing like that. What were the series of emotions and fears that Douglas experienced when he was thrown into the pool? What plans did he make to come to the surface? And now, what were the series of emotions and fears that Douglas experienced? Now, you have to speak about each and everything about that. How, or very important question is this as well, as that what type of experience he had been through, in emotional experience. He was in a very panic situation. He was in it. He was totally traumatized. He was harassed. He was so exhausted, not able to take breathe. He was having a great pain in his lungs, as well as his head was throbbing, and now he was almost at the stage of death. So you have to speak each and everything. And what plans did he make to come to the surface? And the plans, that you know that he made a kind of a strategy that once I touch the bottom, I'll gather my all the strength and spring upwards my body, that I can easily reach to the surface, and then I'll lie down without motions, and I'll just move my legs that I can reach to the edge of the pool. But it was not happen. How did this experience affect him? How did this experience affect him? Which experience? The misadventure experience. Misadventures experience, because he, for a few days, for a few months, the terror has been overpowering, under control him, and for many years he was not associated himself with the water, and that he had lost a great joy of fishing in a different area whenever he go for the trip, and he has lost this this enjoyable moment, because the other companion of him having a great time to enjoy the water, but he was only the person who remained constantly silent away from the water. So he is saying that he had lost many moment of enjoyment. Why was Douglas determined to get over his fear of water? Because he was not happy. He was not tense free. Whenever he found that water, he just a kind of a terror striken hit him, and he was again in the mode of become handicapped. He was not able to move his legs and arms. So this was his experience. That's why he is determined to get over his fear of water. How did the instructor build a swimmer out of Douglas? As I have told you that how he what type of environment, what type of atmosphere he made for the Douglas. That first he just put a belt on him, and this belt was surrounded by this belt was pulled by a rope, and this rope can control each and every, that this rope can lead Douglas from one place to another place of the swimming pool, and after that the instructor had told him to put his face inside the water and came outside. And what in this process I started learning that how to exhale and how to inhale inside the water. Once the head was above from the surface of the water, I took the breathe, and once I inside the water, I just exhale, I just relieve the air. So, and this by this, and also he just hold me from my waist and trying to teach me to move my legs. But in the initial stage they were very hard to move, but after a while, after a great learning, after doing so hard work, I just started learning to move my legs. And now finally I found that I have a great command on my legs. So all the piece of my body parts, once they become favorable, once they become so apt towards the water, and now what he did, he assembled all the parts and made a great swimmer inside me. So this is all about. And how did Douglas make sure that the he conquered the old terror? Now he had examined himself not only single time but also many times. He first of all he examined himself that he was satisfied, because there was nobody inside the water pool, inside the water swimming pool, and he was only alone. And he count the length, he jumping here and there in the water and having a great enjoy in this. And after that he was not happy, so he went to the new hemisphere, and there was also got the enjoy of the lake, and he crossed 2 miles of waters and reaching at the next destination and next island. So all this experience had made that now he is totally out of he has conquered the terror, he has conquered the fear which he had been suffering for a long period of time. So this is the question which is I have given you oral base, but I'll give you the written text in this contest, and you will be able to learn many things of this. And this chapter is so important for you as per the exam purpose. Now thank you so much my dear students to be with me. Jai Hind at the end I would say.